What's the difference between fish oil, evening primrose oil, cod liver oil, borage oil, and flaxseed oil? Okay, let's start with each one. I'll let Dr. Sylvia talk about the evening primrose oil. Now, fish oil is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Well, at least high-quality fish oils. Cod liver oil contains omega-3 fatty acids, but only 15% of the fatty acids are omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-RX, 60%, so you get 4 times more fish oil and, virtually no PCBs. In fact, cod liver oil is so contaminated with PCBs, the laboratory we use to look for PCBs uses cod liver oil to make sure they can see all the isomers because they're no longer in production. So this basically, fish oil is high-tech cod liver oil. Flaxseed oil contains alpha-linolenic acid. It's an omega-3 fatty acid, but it's a short-chain omega-3 fatty acid that's very inefficiently converted into omega-3 fatty acids, so it's not very efficient source of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. Evening primrose oil and borage oil both contain gamma-linolenic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid that gets converted into the fatty acid called dihomo-gamma-linolenic acid. If you can make that, life is incredibly good because you can make some powerful anti-inflammatory eicosanoids. For those of you who have read the Zone books, you know the story of Doug and I going to Saskatoon many, many years ago to capture the borage market, to control the world by controlling dihomo-GLA. Turns out it wasn't that easy because this dihomo-GLA is the substrate to make arachidonic acid. And that's your worst nightmare. And that's why I had to invent the Zone diet to prevent that. But what happens is sometimes you can take, even if you're following the Zone diet, still too much evening primrose oil or borage oil. And what happens? You start to build up the levels of arachidonic acid. And then you get really tired. You really get really depressed. You get really irritable. You get really sick. Isn't that right, Dr. Sylvia?
Yeah.
And how do you solve all those problems?
Yeah.
You stop taking the GLA, and all of a sudden, you get happier, you get healthier. Again, even in experienced hands, it's a tricky thing to work with.